Alright, let's talk about the trap that's been quietly bankrupting Airbnb hosts for years. You think you're building a business, but really you're just another rat running on Airbnb's hamster wheel, praying that they don't yank the plug. Spoiler alert, they will. And when they do, you'll be left scrambling to pick up the pieces, wondering how the hell you didn't see it coming. But don't panic just yet. You can escape this mess. There's a smarter, safer, and way more profitable way to build a serviced accommodation business, and it's called the ContractorBnB model. Today, I'm going to show you how you can break free from Airbnb's chokehold and start building something that actually works. Stick around, it's going to be well worth it. Right, the Airbnb trap. Let's break this down slowly because I'm about to drop a truth bomb. You're out here trying to create a business, right? But here's the ugly truth. You're not running your business. Airbnb is. Every decision, whether it's the fees, the rules, the algorithm, is in their hands. They don't ask you for your opinion. They don't care if you're struggling to pay your mortgage or keep your properties afloat. They just do whatever serves their bottom line. Airbnb's algorithm doesn't give a shit about you. Imagine this. Like 1 minute you're at the top of the world, fully booked, life is good, and then bam, your listing disappears into the abyss because their algorithm decided you didn't have the right keywords in your title. Did you break any rules? No. Do they care about explaining why? Also no. You're at the mercy of an algorithm that's about as predictable as a toddler in a toy store. It might bless you with bookings today, but tomorrow it could knock you off the map because it decided you've been bad. Just like that, like poof, gone. And now you're panicking, trying to figure out what went wrong while Airbnb sits back and rakes in their cut, completely unaffected. The fees are bleeding you dry. Like, let's talk money. How much are Airbnb skimming off the top of you? 14%, 18%, 25%? Like, when does it end? Honestly, I lost count after I stopped relying on them. Think about it. Let's say you make $1,000 in bookings. They take their chunk, say 20%, and now you're down 800. Out of that, you still need to clean the place, pay utilities, handle repairs, and prep it for the next guest. What are you left with? Like peanuts. It's like walking into a casino, putting down 100 and the house takes 20 before you even play. Like, it doesn't sound right, does it? The silent killer, your reviews. You could bust your ass off to give your guests an amazing stay, but one bad review can torpedo your entire operation. Let's say a Karen comes through and decides to leave a 1-star review because the pillows weren't fluffy enough. Now, your listing is buried in search results and all your hard work gone. It's like trying to keep a plant alive while someone's pouring bleach on it. No matter what you do, Airbnb's system is rigged to punish you over things you can't control. And when you try to reach out for support, good luck. At best, you'll get a canned response telling you to improve your listing. Now let's be real. Airbnb is a high-risk business that only works when everything goes perfectly. But how often does that happen? Like one bad review, one sudden policy change, one tweak in the algorithm, and you're in the red. Your entire business is as fragile as a house of cards in a windstorm. If it's working for you now, great, but ask yourself, how long can you survive if the wind changes? Now, enough about the nightmare. Let's talk about the solution, the ContractorBnB model. This approach is built on 3 pillars: predictability, stability, and control. Instead of relying on Airbnb's whims, you take back the reins. You cater directly to contractors and corporate clients who need long-term stays. Contractors are the sweet spot for one reason: they're stable. They don't care about Instagram-worthy interiors or fancy perks. They just want a clean, functional place to stay while they work somewhere in your area. But why are they the gold? When you focus on contractors instead of relying on traditional tourism, you tap into a vastly more reliable and profitable segment of the market. Let's break it down exactly why contractors are such a game changer compared to the traditional Airbnb tourism model in the UK. Number 1, long-term bookings. Like the holy grail of consistent income. In the UK, the tourism market, if you're lucky, you can count on 2 or 3 strong months out of the year. Summer holidays and major events might bring you in a surge in demand, but outside of these peaks, you're battling low occupancy rates for the remaining 9 to 10 months. Winter, dead. Spring, hit or miss. Shoulder seasons barely keep the lights on. Contractors, on the other hand, don't care about the time of year. Construction, infrastructure projects, and utility work happens all year round, regardless of the weather. Whether it's a road project in January or a housing development in November, contractors are traveling and working almost 11 months of the year. Their schedules create consistent demand, meaning your property isn't sitting idle waiting for a summer tourist to roll through. Like tourists, short stays, 1 to 3 nights, highly seasonal, high cancellation rates. Contractors, long stays, 1 to 3 months, year-round demand, low cancellation rates. For example, instead of scrambling to fill your calendar with 15 individual bookings to cover a month, a contractor could book your property for 6 to 8 weeks at one time. That's predictable, stress-free income without the constant churn of new guests. The second reason is low maintenance. No parties, no headaches. Tourists often see your property as a part of their holiday experience, and that can lead to trouble, especially when there's drink and drugs involved. You've probably heard the horror stories of wild parties, trashed interiors, or even noise complaints from neighbours. I've had them when I ran this old model. Managing tourism bookings means constantly worrying about damage, reviews, and complaints. Contractors, they're here to work, not party. These are professionals who spend long days on site and just want a clean, quiet, and comfortable place to recharge. Typical contractor guests come home, eat dinner, maybe watch TV, and goes to bed, up for work at 6 a.m. Typical tourist guest drinks, parties, invites friends over, and treats your property like a hotel with no front desk. Contractors are also far less demanding. They don't care about luxury decor, Instagram-worthy interiors, or curated welcome baskets. They value functionality and convenience. Think good parking, fast Wi-Fi, and a comfortable bed. As long as these basics are covered, they are happy. Third reason, repeat business. You build relationships with reliable income. Tourism is a one and done game. Guests stay once, leave a review, and move on to their next destination. If you're lucky, they might come back the next year, but very unlikely. You're constantly marketing to attract new people, which is both time consuming and expensive. Worse, there's no guarantee they'll even choose your property again, even if they visit the area. With the contractors, the game is completely different. Once you build a relationship with a contracting company or individual contractors, you become their go-to provider for future jobs in the area. Construction crews often work in phases, meaning the same team might return multiple times over the course of a project. Let's say you host a team of electricians for a 6-week stint. If they're happy with your property, they'll not only book again for the next phase of the project, but may also recommend you to their colleagues or other contracting firms. Over time, your network grows and your bookings become even more reliable. Contractor beats tourism every time. This is a fact, not an opinion. The traditional tourism market might look appealing at first glance. People love traveling, right? But the reality is that tourism income is unpredictable, seasonal, and often not worth the headaches. Contractors, by contrast, offer a steady, dependable alternative. Year-round demand. Contractors don't follow peak seasons. They work all year, keeping your property booked even in the slowest months. You have much higher occupancy rates. A single contractor booking can cover weeks or months or even a full year, minimizing gaps between stays and ensuring steady cash flow. And with that, you have lower marketing costs. Once you establish relationships with contractors and companies, you rely less on platforms like Airbnb, reducing fees and marketing expenses. By focusing on contractors, you're building a business model that thrives on stability rather than the unpredictability of the tourism market. This isn't just about filling your calendar. It's about creating a sustainable, profitable business that doesn't leave you worrying about low season or last-minute cancellations. If you're tired of the rollercoaster ride of the tourism industry, it's time to pivot. Contractors are your ticket to consistent, reliable, and stress-free income, no matter what time of year. So how do you build your ContractorBnB business? Number one, you've got to choose the right properties. Forget high-end decor, look for properties with good parking, easy access to work sites and motorways, strong Wi-Fi. Focus on what contractors care about, functionality and convenience. Number two, build direct relationships. This is where the magic happens. Instead of relying on platforms, go straight to the source. Reach out to the construction companies and the corporations. Offer competitive rates for long-term stays. Create a network of steady, reliable clients. Number three, diversify your channels. Airbnb can still be a tool, but it shouldn't be your only one. Expand to platforms like Booking.com, Vrbo, OpenRent, and most importantly, build your own direct booking website. When you control your bookings, you control your business. Number four, prioritize excellent service. You don't need to spoil contractors with champagne, but the basics matter. Cleanliness, comfort, clear communication, and possibly a few cold beers in the fridge. That will go a long way. Number five, scale smarter. Once you've nailed one property, rinse and repeat. Focus on areas with high contractor demand and stay in that area. The more properties you control in one location, the more consistent your bookings will become. The bottom line, build a business that works for you. If you're tired of being at the mercy of Airbnb's chaos, it's time to switch gears. The ContractorBnB model puts you back in control. No algorithms, no hidden fees, just a stable, scalable business that actually works. So what are you waiting for? Are you going to keep spinning Airbnb's wheel of fortune, or are you ready to build something real? The choice is yours. Remember, if you don't control your business controls you. Choose freedom and choose the ContractorBnB model.